Hi class, in this video we're going to go over this question on your chapter 12 quiz, the one about income tax. So the question, this one's very generic, so what you see will be different numbers, but and also be asking for different part of the question. But there are only three ways the question might come to you. So they might be asking for what is the marginal tax rate. So oh, there's a highlighter, I don't need this. I need a pen, not a highlighter. So what's the marginal tax rate? What is the total tax paid? And then lastly, what is the average tax rate? All right, so let's talk about each one. So first of all, for the marginal tax rate, this is actually very, very simple. So for marginal tax rate, this is just how much percentage that's appeared in the table here. Now, if you remember from definition, the marginal tax rate, that's the change in your total tax paid divided by the change in your income, and that's your marginal tax rate. And what it really means, it just means that if you make one more dollar, so for each additional dollar of your income, how much of the dollar income you must pay for taxes, that's called a marginal tax rate. So for the first one, for the first one on the table here, it says that if your income's from $0 to $10,000, you're gonna pay a 10% marginal tax rate. That means if your income is between this range here, for every dollar you make, you pay a 10% for income tax, and you keep the rest for yourself. The 90% is your after-tax income. And then if your income goes higher, so for income range from 10 to 30,000, that for every dollar you make, you pay 15% tax. And lastly, for any portion of income that's over $30,000, then you pay a 20% of your income. You pay an extra 20% of every dollar you make, right? So for this question here, if our taxable income is $50,000, and then what is our marginal tax rate? Then that will be just the number here, the 20% here. That's our marginal tax rate. So for marginal tax rate, just go to the table, see wherever the income is, and then that number in your table there, the marginal tax rate, that's the answer we're looking for. Okay. Now the next one will be a little tricky. The next one's asking for how much is your total tax paid. So if you look at this income we have, so the $50,000 income, so from 0 to 50, we're gonna divide the income into different sections, and then each section will pay a different percentage for tax. So 10,000 and then 30,000. So for the first section here, this will pay a 10% tax rate. And the next section from 10,000 to 30,000, that's a 15% tax rate. And last section from 30 to 50,000, that's a 20% tax rate. So we're gonna find out how much is each section, and then add it all together. That's your total tax paid. Okay. So first there will be so 10,000. So that's the upper bound minus the lower bound 0 times 10%. Ooh, that's supposed to be a 10%. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Okay, so that's the first bracket. Now second bracket will be 30,000 minus 10,000. Oh, by the way, guys, you're gonna hear this from me a lot. I don't call this section, I call it bracket. That's the way it should be called. That's the proper term, right? So for taxable income, that's called a taxable bracket, so or a tax bracket. That for anybody here going to become accountant later on, you're gonna hear this all the time. And last bracket will be from 50,000, and bracket just means section, okay, times 20%. All right, so let's find out how much each one is and add it together. So that's the first one should be $1,000. Second one should be $3,000, and last one should be $4,000. So add everything all together. The answer is gonna be $8,000. That is our total tax paid. Okay, so that's how you find it. So do it individually for each section, and add it all together. That is our total tax paid. And lastly, to find out what's your average tax rate. So for average tax rate, we're gonna use our tax paid. So total tax divided by total income. That's your average tax rate, and of course this would be a percentage, right? So, so our total tax was $8,000, which is found out, and our total income is 50,000. So let me use my calculator. What is this? I believe it's 16%, but just to make sure. Give me my calculator. All right, so we're doing 8,000 divided by $50,000 and times 100%. So that's gonna be a 16%. So 16% is our average tax rate, right? That means for your entire income, the 16% of your income went to pay our tax. Okay, so guys, make sure to know the difference between the marginal tax rate and then the average tax rate. So marginal tax rate is that for each additional income, how much tax do you pay? And that number will be different depends on how much money you make, because our tax system will have different tax bracket, and for each of your income bracket, you're going to pay a different percentage for tax. And then for the average tax rate, that is your total tax divided by total income. Okay, so it's different than the marginal tax rate. Okay, all right, so guys, that's it for this question. So if you have any more questions, let me know. Okay, all right, see you later. Bye bye.